Hello, friends. Do you know that stress touches upon every walk of life? Do you know that too much stress affects our health and well being? Let me explain in this video. Once upon a time, there lived a rich gentleman called Mr. Lal, and he developed pain on the left side of the chest, and doctor declared it was a heart attack and admitted Mr. Lal in the hospital. While he was nursing himself in the hospital, one of the lottery tickets he had purchased went for a bumper draw of rupees 50 lakhs. His wife came rushing to the hospital to break this wonderful news to the ailing husband. But as she was climbing the stairs of the hospital, she suddenly remembered doctor instructed her clearly not to break any good or bad news to Mr. Lal as he was a heart patient. So she met Mr. Shanta Kumar, one of the friends of Mr. Lal, and said, "My husband loves money. He is into more money. How about breaking this wonderful news to him?" Mr. Shanta Kumar said, "You need not worry. I am from New Delhi and expert in breaking news." So he went to see Mr. Lal in the ICU, sat beside him and engaged Mr. Lal into conversation. "Mr. Lal, suppose you get rupees 25,000 in a lottery ticket, what would you do?" Mr. Lal was a very rich man. He had seen so much money in his life. So he said, "Let it go to ashram at Pune." Hearing this, Mr. Shanta Kumar gained some courage and he said, "Okay, Mr. Lal, suppose you receive rupees 50,000 in a lottery ticket, what would you do?" Mr. Lal said, "Okay, if the amount is 50,000, let it go to Prime Minister Relief Fund for the welfare of Indian soldiers." By now, Mr. Shanta Kumar was highly excited. So he said, "Mr. Lal, suppose you get rupees 50 lakhs in a bumper lottery ticket, what would you do?" Hearing this, even Mr. Lal also got excited. He said, "If the amount is 50 lakhs, then the half of the amount is for you." And the next moment, Mr. Shanta Kumar collapsed and he had a severe heart attack. Ladies and gentlemen, what is this? This is acute stress that develops suddenly on hearing some news. What are the other examples of acute stress? Doorbell ringing in the middle of the night, mobile bell ringing in the middle of the night, your boss calling you suddenly in his chamber. Under such circumstances, your heart beats lub dub, and you feel acute stress. As against acute stress, there is something called chronic stress. There are many examples of chronic stress in day-to-day life. We see a working woman trying to balance her career and the family. Even the man today is not spared because he has to manage two bosses, one in the office and one in the home. So he is constantly under pressure. Our kids have to face tests, tuitions and tutorials in these days of competitions. So they are also under pressure. In the old age, there may be problems like loneliness or health problems or financial issues. So ladies and gentlemen, stress touches upon every walk of life and stress is inevitable. In fact, modern life characterized by pace, pressure and competition has constantly forced human beings to challenging and stressful situations. Now the question arises, is all stress bad for us? Not at all. Some amount of stress is good for us. For example, what happens during exam days? We sit and prepare for the exams. What happens if the boss says, "I want the report by Monday morning"? We collect facts and figures, work hard, concentrate our energies, and by somehow we prepare the report by Monday morning. So in a way, it improves our efficiency. This is called positive stress. The signs of positive stress are enhanced creativity, increased production, a general feeling of well-being, happiness, and immune system that works optimally. But friends, when the stress is too much or when you are not able to handle it, then it becomes a problem. Then it hampers our working, our social life, our mind. And over a period of time, too much stress affects our health and well-being. Thousands and thousands of years ago, myself and Mr. Bhatia, we both were staying in jungles, inside caves, And one fine day, when we were roaming in the jungle, a tiger appeared in front of us. What did we do? We had no choice but to fight with the tiger. Some other day, when we were returning after collecting the food, the same tiger was sitting inside the cave. What did we do then? We immediately ran away and climbed the nearest tree. This is fight or flight response. Years have rolled by. Man has become civilized in suit and boot. Tigers are not seen except in zoo or in jungle. But tiger-like situations do exist. In every classroom, there is a tiger called teacher. In every office, there is a tiger called boss. And in every house, there is the spouse. Can you fight with the tiger called boss? Can you run away from this tiger called boss? And this fight and flight response is happening almost steady. So the hormones and the neurochemicals that are released into your body, they linger longer than what is necessary and have a toxic effect on your body and mind. The person becomes irritable, is unable to relax, he is frustrated and depressed, and he starts growling and growling. So remember, stress touches upon every walk of life, and too much stress affects your health and body, and therefore you must learn and practice a holistic method of stress management. Try to strengthen the 4 pillars of health: physical, mental, social, and spiritual. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay stress free. Thank you very much.